folks? Hope we're all having a wonderful start to the week. Today's date is Monday, February 27th of 2023, and we're going to be coming at you with a little bit of a different video today. Now, typically whenever I do the videos that I post on YouTube, they are mostly focused on technical analysis and primarily the direction of where an asset might go, whether it be an asset, equity, commodity, whatever it is. We're typically focused on, is this thing bullish? Is it bearish? Is it neutral? What's the next play on it, right, in the short to mid term? However, today, as I said, will be a bit different as we're going to be looking at a asset from a few different perspectives outside of price. We're going to be looking at the fundamental use cases of this asset, as well as just the feasibility and the potential futures where we see it going in the long term, or at least personally where I see it going in the long term, and why I like this asset as an investment. It should be noted before we get started with the video, or at least dive into the information, that none of this is financial advice. Absolutely zero. And I have no correlation with, and we're going to be talking about Nano today, by the way, so I have no correlation with the Nano Foundation, anybody that created Nano, that had anything to do with Nano. I have nothing to do with it, right? I'm just the sideline guy that found interest in this asset because of how fundamentally impressive it is, and that's the information I'm going to be showing you today. So, as mentioned, none of this is financial advice. Come to your own conclusions and do your own research, please. Getting right back into it, let's get into the information of the video. So if you are new to cryptocurrency or you're just like an average investor, right, this isn't something that you dedicate your life to understanding like some people, aka me, I guess. You're going to find yourself on, these cryptocurrency pages, whether it be CoinMarketCap, CoinPaprika, CoinGecko, etc., that will show you the top 100 cryptocurrencies, their volume, their circulating supply, the market capitalization, all that good stuff. And a lot of the time, people will only talk about these top 100 cryptocurrencies, at least like the bigger communities, right? The larger the market cap of the cryptocurrency, typically the larger the community, right? So you have Bitcoin on top. Half of the cryptocurrency community could be considered Bitcoin maximalist. Maybe not so much anymore, but it definitely was that way. You have a lot of people that are buying into Ethereum, BNB, XRP, Cardano, etc. But there's a very, very small amount of people that will journey down into the depths of CoinMarketCap and really, take a dig for some fundamentally strong cryptocurrencies. Now, these the placement of these cryptocurrencies on CoinMarketCap change all the time because they're ranked on market capitalization. So what's on page 3 isn't always there. It could be on page 1 the next day if we see a large move to the upside in market capitalization. But here we are on page 3, and we find one of the biggest gems in all of cryptocurrency, in my opinion, and that is Nano, which recently changed their ticker symbol from Nano, N-A-N-O, to XNO. Originally, it was XRB, or known as Rayblox. And so there's been a few different changes for Nano when it comes to their name, but the fundamental usability and the overall idea of the protocol has not changed, okay? So we're going to talk about some tokenomics real quick. It's currently sitting at a market cap of $120 million, and that's a fully diluted market cap because the circulating supply is 100% distributed. There is only 133 million Nano that are in circulation, and that's the total amount of Nano that will ever exist for the rest of eternity, right? So Nano, in some cases, can be considered a very, very scarce asset, especially if it starts to catch on, right? 133 million Nano with 8 billion people on the planet, right? You can see where that goes. So right now, the market cap is very small, circulating supply is static. That alone is a very, very attractive formula for a move to the upside in price, right? But price isn't the thing that we're going to be super, super concerned about today. We are going to talk about the chart in just a moment, but we are going to first talk about the fundamental use cases of this coin. Now, as we talk about more of the fundamental use cases of Nano, it's probably right that we talk about how cryptocurrency was conceived to begin with, right? What was the original purpose of cryptocurrency, and how did this all really come about? So, cryptocurrency was really the culmination of a bunch of really, really smart cryptographers, otherwise known as cypherpunks, from the 1960s to the 90s, all the way up until now, right? A lot of people did mess around with cryptography. The main one being, I believe, the godfather of cryptocurrency, David Chaum, created eCash, and then we have people like Nick Szabo, Adam Back, that really contributed to this idea of a true cryptocurrency, right, before cryptocurrency was actually conceived. Fast forward to 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto releases the Bitcoin white paper and describes a peer-to-peer digital cash. So in the lead up, in this build up to cryptocurrency, the decades it took all these smart minds to create this, we had this idea that we want something to be a very, very efficient digital cash. Now, Fast forward to where we are now, I believe we lost sight of that a bit, right? The cryptocurrency space now is not dominated by peer-to-peer digital cash. It's dominated by smart contracts, DeFi, meme coins, and a lot of really stuff that I feel like might be unnecessary to be there. Now, should we have programmable money? Is smart contracts a necessary thing? Absolutely, right? If you go talk to Vitalik Buterin, he's going to be the first one to tell you that smart contracts and all that stuff that have programmable money is probably a pretty good thing to have. And I do think that there is a place for those things. However, it seems like we've kicked out the idea of having a true peer-to-peer digital cash, right? And that's exactly what Nano is, right? I believe that this narrative will catch on again in the future, and when it does, it's going to hit very, very hard, right? And we talked about Nano having a static supply and being very sensitive to demand. I didn't say that it was sensitive to demand before, but because of a static supply, it is, in fact, very, very sensitive to demand. So, when that narrative hits, I expect that, Nano to rapidly rise, not only in its acknowledgments, but in price. So let's talk about Nano from a fundamental perspective. What does it do that, original people in the space, the cypherpunks would have liked, right? I think that Nano is a perfect representative of what cryptocurrency was supposed to be originally, right? So as we can see here, right on the front page of nano.org, it is zero fees, right? And we're going to show an example of some transactions in a second here, and you're going to see how it is not only zero fees, but it's also instantaneous, right? Relatively speaking. Another wonderful point of Nano is that it's eco-friendly, right? It does not take much energy at all to maintain the network, right? We go ahead and look at Bitcoin with proof of work. We have these massive mining farms that are using up gobs of electricity to secure the network, and many other cryptocurrencies are doing that same thing. Even proof of stake takes up a considerable amount of energy compared to what Nano does, right? There are some criticisms of Nano that it, one of them being that it doesn't have incentives for miners, right? So it doesn't have any incentives for people to keep the network secure. And that I say would be its biggest critique. I know also that some people have some problems with its governance, but all in all, these critiques are very, I don't really think they're something too much to be concerned about. All right, and here we are at some transactions. So here we're going to be showcasing Nano's true usability and what it does best, right? And that's sending money, sending Nano from one wallet to another with zero fees, instantaneous, and while maintaining very little impact on the environment. So let's go ahead and do this. So we have a Nanobyte wallet over here on our Google Chrome extension, and we also have a Nalt wallet over here on our web browser. These are two different native Nano wallets, so we're going to be transacting between those two. But keep in mind, there are many other ones. One of my favorites is Natrium. That's the one I use on my mobile phone, so, very cool. I love Natrium, but in today's example, we are going to be using Nanobyte and Nalt. Okay, so we have 0.003 Nano here, and keep in mind, guys, this is all done for free. I got this Nano from the Nano Drop. I already exceeded my my Nano for the day, so I can't receive anymore, but we have our Nano, so we're good to go. So what we want to do, if we want to receive some Nano, we're going to go to our accounts, click on our account, and we will copy the address. Going to go over here to send. We're going to paste the Nano address, the Nalt address that we're going to be doing, and we are going to do the max. We're going to do 0.0003, and we will send on over. Confirm. Boom. Received. Nano received. Wow, that was like instantaneous. Very, very quick. Okay, now let's send it back. So now we want to go over here. We want to send, yes, from account, and then we want to receive over here. We're going to copy our address, paste the Nanobyte address in that address. We will send the max. We will send, confirm, go back, and boom, we got our Nano. Look at that. Zero fees, instantaneous, relatively speaking, right? Nothing's truly instantaneous, not even light speed, but it's pretty damn close. So really, really cool. You can send Nano back and forth almost like a game, like ping pong, right? I can do this. And keep in mind, this just because I'm on my desktop sending it to myself doesn't make it any more efficient, right? If I was sending this to someone over in Africa or Brazil or China or anywhere in Europe, and they're sending it back to me, it's going to be the same exact efficiency and work in the same exact ways that you just saw here. So Nano is very, very cool. I know that sometimes even some people in the Nano community will play with their Nano, sending it back and forth like a game. I know it is quite impressive when you can do that with a digital currency. You certainly cannot do that with Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything like that. You will lose your money very, very quickly. So just for fun, let's send it back one more time. So we're going to go over here to our Nalt. We're going to go and press receive. We're going to go here. We're going to copy our address. We're going to send nano address, paste, and we're going to do the max 0.003. We will send, confirm, and our nano has been received. Very, very cool. I highly recommend you guys try it out. And if you never feel like that it's hard to get nano can actually be divisible up to 30 decimal places. So a really, really cool fact before we get into the technicals of nano, technical analysis, I should say, is that, the entire global economy could actually feasibly run on 1 nano, right? Which is really, really cool. It's divisible by 30 decimal places. So, hey, pretty flexible currency we got there. And you know what? Just to be cocky, just to really shove it in our face here, let's go ahead and send it back one more time. Let's go over here. Let's send. We're going to go ahead and receive, copy the address, paste, max, send it back, confirm. And we got our nano back. Very, very cool. All right, let's move on to the technical analysis. All right, so now we're going to be hopping into some nano technicals. Now, before we got to this point, we did talk about the fundamental use cases of nano and why it seems so valuable as an asset, right? It's zero fees, eco-friendly, and it has instantaneous payments. The use cases for this technology could be, almost infinite when it comes to anything considering money. But not only do we look at this from a money in a money usability standpoint, I personally look at this as an investment, right? As I said before, Nano has a static supply of 133 million, making it very sensitive to demand whenever that happens. And none will ever be made. So if this currency does catch on, and if people do find the fundamental value, and if efficient market hypothesis is real, I really see some drastic upside for Nano in the future. So let's just look at the chart that we have here. If you're unfamiliar with all these numbers and letters, this is Elliott Wave Principle. And I myself am a trader on the stock market. I use Elliott Wave Principle on pretty much all the assets that I look at on a macro standpoint, as it gives me an idea of where they are in the market, right? Is it moving impulsively to the upside, or is it in a corrective state of the market? So, and this will just give us a good hold on where Nano is currently in its price action. So starting off from the beginning, guys, right? If you were at all involved in Nano starting in, mid 2017, you experienced one of the hardest pumps in all of cryptocurrency ever. I mean, from the bottom to the top, it did like 574,000%, right? Now, granted, how many people actually got in at the Pico bottom, I don't know. But, this move in itself from November 2017 to December 2017 was just monstrous, right? And, I do look at this as a wave one, part of a larger 5-wave impulse to the upside. So I know a lot of people criticized a lot of cryptocurrencies, a lot of the older cryptocurrencies, for not breaking their 2017 high, right? Some examples are, I believe Litecoin didn't break it, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Cash wasn't, I don't know. There's a multitude of cryptocurrencies that did not break their 2017 high. Mostly digital cash solutions. I believe Digibyte didn't either. Dash, IOTA. I could be wrong about a few of these things, but I'm pretty sure. I know XRP definitely didn't. But all in all, what I'm trying to get at here is that Nano, though it did not break its 2017 high, that does not mean it's not as bullish as other cryptocurrencies. It just means it has a different market structure. And essentially what I believe to have happened is that Nano pumped so hard in 2017 that it's going through this long multi-year corrective / accumulation phase, right? Or in other words, a very, very long ABC correction. Now, we're going to know more the truth to this as time moves on, because we'll know if price goes somewhere that'll clarify and give us our answers. But Nano seems to be in the final leg of its C wave, right? Which would mean it could have another leg down. There's a chance that this is the bottom, but if we see lower prices in the short term on Nano, I think that's definitely possible. Even if we break the COVID low below 29-30 cents, I believe that's possible as well. But don't let it fool you, folks. I believe that Nano, anywhere between $1 and zero, I believe is just an amazing point to buy. I know I've been accumulating for a while. I've actually never sold a Nano, so I'm very proud of that. I know some people in the Nano community will probably be mad at me, as Nano's supposed to be used for money, but I believe that the buying power of Nano is going to go up drastically in the future, and that's when I will be buying goods and services with my Nano when I get more of a bang for my buck. Right now, I am simply just accumulating. So I do believe Nano will have these spikes in demand again. It saw one back here, saw one in 2017. It's just a matter of time before it sees another one. And how I see it, I know I talked about Elliott Wave. After this ABC correction is over, I do believe that we will end up breaking the highs of Wave 1, which sit around $38. I know some exchanges were around like $45, give or take. But yeah, I do expect price to break above that threshold and move, well into price discovery. And keep in mind, guys, this is not some insane task to see, right? I mean, this is very, very possible. The market capitalization of Nano is $120 million, right? So a 10x from here puts it just over $1 billion market cap, which, when we look at the entirety of cryptocurrency, still isn't that big. So if Nano does catch on and, if its fundamental value gets recognized and the buyers step in, I absolutely could see this thing going well above $100, if not, well beyond that. Again, I'm not trying to induce FOMO. I'm just showing you how I see it, and I'm kind of displaying my overall investment thesis, right? I talked about why I think Nano's fundamentally significant. I showed you examples of Nano working, and now we're talking about the price technicals and where I think it could go. So I absolutely think higher prices are in the works for Nano, and it's just too fundamentally strong to stay defeated for a very, very long time. Now, there are some scenarios I could see Nano perhaps going to zero. But I think a lot of unfortunate events would have to happen for that to happen. Mainly just Nano never being acknowledged as a digital currency, right? And people just neglecting it. But I do think that if the littlest, tiniest bit of acknowledgement in the public eye is brought to Nano, it will, quote unquote moonshot. So that's what I'm looking for. I think Nano looks very, very good going into the middle part of 2023. If we do see another bottom, great. I'll be accumulating more. If not, fine. My bags are packed. I'm ready to go. All in all, in my opinion, I think buying in this general range is going to end up being a fairly decent trade. But I guess only time will tell. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video on Nano. I know I didn't go too in depth on like the technical stuff. Unfortunately, I'm not a developer. It should be noted, Nano is a DAG. It doesn't run on a typical blockchain. It's a directed acyclical graph. And, that's something that you definitely want to look at if you are investing in Nano. Again, do your own research. I'm not the hub of information. I'm just kind of quickly giving you an overlook on why I like Nano and, all the good stuff it has to offer. So please do your own research. Read the Nano white paper. They have a living white paper on Nano Hub. I will put the link to that stuff down below. I'll also put the links to a few other things, whether it be the creator of Nano, Colin LeMahieu's Twitter. Definitely watch some interviews with him. He's just extraordinarily smart. It's quite amazing. And be a part of the Nano community. I think you meet a lot of like-minded people that are really into cryptocurrency and the true purpose that cryptocurrency originally had, which was to be true peer-to-peer digital cash for the world. And so I'm a big supporter. Again, I have nothing to do with Nano. I'm not correlated with the Nano Foundation, Nano Labs, any of that stuff. I'm just a guy that found a very, very cool digital cash that I'm somewhat passionate about. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you for the next one. Take it easy.